Mission Impossible. Anyway, if you all remember when I went to Kansas City to cover the 2023 NFL draft, the NFL draft where, first of all, Kansas City put on a fantastic and great in Buffalo show, but it was also the draft that featured not one, not two, but three African American quarterbacks taken number one, number two, and then number four in the NFL draft. Remember that one? Remember when I stayed at the Wyndham Super 8 Hotel near Kansas City Airport? Remember that? Well, I got Mercury credit card early on. So I wanted to have a card to use for the draft. And at the time, and between that time and when I went to the draft, the situation cleared up. But I had the card, or so I thought. I asked Mercury, hey, this hotel charge of $207 is going to clear, right? Oh, yes, Mr. Abraham. They told me that twice. They sent me an initial account of 4774. And then they were slow about getting the card to me with that one. They finally did get the card for that one. And then they sent another account number, ostensibly for a new account, because the first one was in some type of way, there was some sort of issue with it that they didn't clarify. At any rate, I wound up with two accounts, but I only had one card. So I used the card to get the hotel room. Well, guess what? They called and said, hey, it didn't clear. That's what the hotel did. And I thought, oh, so I just used my backup. Okay, no harm, no foul there. But I called Mercury several times to find out why they would, on two occasions, tell me a charge would clear and then the charge didn't clear, and then tell me after trying the transaction that there was still enough credit to sustain a transaction amount of well over $200, like four or five, $600. Okay, with a total credit line of 1,500. That's what they told me. All right. So I thought, you know what? The there's something really really wrong here because wouldn't fix the matter. I didn't try to use the card again. I paid a fee early on to establish the card under 4774. So now they got 4661. Anyway, I thought I'm not paying on these cards at all. Why should I pay on something I can't use? That's fraud, folks. That's a scam. You're being scammed, right? So now Mercury Credit Card takes their portfolio and they give it to an organization called Portfolio Recovery Associates. And now I'm supposed to meet them in court. You know what I say? Yay. I answered them. I found out that 95% of the people that Portfolio Recovery Associates does this to don't even answer the suit. I do. I put my complaint in. You want to know why? Because the, uh, the attorney that wrote it didn't even bother to do their homework. And I'm not going to go into the detail, all right, any more than I have to say this case should be dismissed. But this is what they do. Apparently, Portfolio Recovery Associates buys all of these delinquent accounts around the United States, files suits with the idea that they're going to lose on them, but maybe they'll get, lucky on one or two. That's horrible. You ought to be against the law to do that, to just put something together, cobble together information that is fraudulent, that is wrong, not even study a case, not even get lawyers that actually know the case, let alone lawyers who practice debt collection law. All right. But that's what they do. That's what Portfolio Recovery Associates does. And it's ridiculous. All right. American business should not be built on scamming. I repeat, American business should not be built on scamming. Here comes the comments. All right. It's wrong to do that. It's wrong. And I will prevail. You see any organization, any credit card organization that does what Mercury credit card did to me, okay, or is trying to do to me, you immediately at least make social media about them. Let other people know. And when I say that, I mean blogs and vlogs. I don't mean putting on Facebook. Why? Because Facebook is a closed loop. You're lucky if that content is seen outside Facebook. So don't leave it to just Facebook and think, oh, yeah, I talked about them. No, that's a big mistake. Put it all over, okay? Let people know how awful these folks are. Would love to find the study. I know it's out there. How much money in consumer spending is wasted on stuff like this? It's got to be awful. All right. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com. We'll see you. And Portfolio Recovery Associates, do better. Do better.